what's neutral game? I always hear it from commentaries, but I don't know exactly what it is. So basically, neutral game is this. So I just reset the position from practice mode. That's essentially neutral game. You're in a range. So neutral is essentially being in range of your opponent, but not doing necessarily anything. So you could make it, from this position, you could go on an offensive standpoint. From this position, you can go to a defensive standpoint. Or from this position, you can remain in neutral. So how does that happen, right? So from this position, if I want to go into offense, so from neutral to offense or neutral offense to offense, right? I would do something like, let's say a hell sweep. I'm in range to do the hell sweep and now I get the mix up, right? The hell sweep vortex Oki mix up. That's offense. Let's say I want to change it to from neutral to defense. Let's say my opponent is blocking here. I would do a God Fist and then backdash away. And then stay somewhere outside of both of our ranges, but just enough to whiff punish. So let's say if again he whiffs something big and I'm this far, I could do one dash into, let's say, a DF2 or a God Fist, and it's gonna connect. Now if you want to remain in neutral again, let's say again from position reset, you just do a jab and you're still back in neutral. Because again, you can seesaw. And imagine it like a seesaw, right? It's like the balancing act. Which way do you want it to go? So that's like a very bare bones description of what neutral is. And you're always looking out for what your opponent's gonna do next and react towards it. So if you throw something, whether that be them throwing out a move towards you and you reacting towards it, or you throwing out a move towards them and seeing how they react towards it. And then you just keep making those adjustments constantly, non-stop. And then eventually it'll seesaw. It'll balance to one side. It will not balance exactly. It'll become unbalanced to one side depending on how the adjustment goes. So if your opponent has bad low defense, this is just not going to stop. The hell sweeps are not going to stop. And you don't need to go back to neutral because you own neutral already, because they can't defend their own neutral. And by defend their own neutral means from this position, they can't stop you from getting in. Or, yeah, essentially, just stop you from getting in. Or, keeping you in check, something like that, so that they can remain in a quote-unquote neutral situation. Because they're not using these jabs to like remain defensive. You do a jab and then you backdash away. That's like being more defensive. Doing a jab into a jab is like keeping in neutral or being slightly in the offensive side. So I hope that, it gets a super bare bones description of what neutral is. If you have any questions about that or you want anything clarified about it, just let me know.